Hey, Bears logo. Well, I can't really show it on a live feed because it's all reversed because I'm in an Android. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, yeah, people who saw the Bears feed on my shirt, it's because the Bears actually just won right now, today, the last game of the season for them. And so I have to have something representing the Chicago Bears. I had to. Just had to, but I didn't want to show it off too much. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to this latest installment of Poetic License, where you have the license to be as creative as you would like because you guys are all triple plus awesome. Poetic License, ta-da! I have to reflect from when I had my open mics and I would have it in papers like, hello, coming, and I've gotten a filtered in effect. If I look like I've got wet hairs, because my live stream has me in the water right now as I'm reading these things to you. But anywho, we're going to go in round robins. It was great to see everybody. There's like half of us from this side of the pond and half of us from the other side of the pond, which is triple plus awesome. And I figured the first reading I was going to do is read 3 poems, per usual, from the latest release from cc&d magazine, my literary magazine that I've run since 1993, titled From Something Accepted Within the Book. It is titled This Be the Scripture. And I thought, that's way too cool of a title, so I've got to try to figure out how to put that into a cover. And so I thought I would put 3 things in this book, and there are 3 things that also happen to appear in the TUiiYH 2024 Janet Kuypers book titled The Universe is in Your Hands. I have to show off books because I'm the book lady. That's what I do. So anyway, The Universe is in Your Hands, and this be the scripture, because that's just how I feel. This first one started off as a poem that existed in other forms and was in other books, but I won't even get into that. But I think people like, well, I hope Susan will appreciate this. This is my reference for India in the latest book, and it is titled Unmarried Women and Dead Bodies Everywhere. The Universe is in Your Hands at it. The Ganges River in India is most sacred to Hindus, but on one day not too long ago, they discovered 28 bodies at a tributary of the Ganges River. Online news sources explained that the bodies may have been left when families couldn't afford a burial. Now, I read the Star of India, arriving to me daily, reporting that they found 104 bodies. The local paper then explained that this is custom in some cultures, that when unmarried women die, their bodies are dumped in the river. Unrecognizably decomposed, more and more bodies of unmarried women kept floating to the surface in just a few days in the sacred Ganges River. I kept looking for an explanation, and all I could imagine was that because this river was supposed to be sacred, this may have been their effort to give these women a family in the afterlife, putting them in this river they call sacred. Because I know how they view women in India, cover their skin, don't allow them to talk back, but give them some hope for the afterlife. For even though women are treated like nothing by men there, they're less than nothing if they're not even married. Unmarried women and dead bodies everywhere. And I happen to, yeah, thank you. And I see that Lorna showed up, and this was the most recent feature, and I've got to be able to show it for a live feed, and it's hiding. It's not showing in my live feed. I'm sorry, because that's what green screen filters do, where I was doing a feature at the Gallery Cabaret, which, by the way, Lorna has a once-a-month poetry thing hosted by Wes Hine, just to give you the update on that guy. But the second poem that is in both since she came late, the cc&d book, This Be the Scripture, and the TUiiYH 2024 Janet Kuypers poetry book, The Universe is in Your Hands. The second one is called Mementos and Memories, and it is for representing Missouri. Sometimes the splurge only comes when you don't know what you're looking for. And that's when you find some little something you'll cherish, and you can't explain why, until you realize it's the memories you cherish, and you've been immersed in a life well lived. With no money for hotels, but a car that wanted to take you anywhere, one day, on a whim, you too just started driving until you reached the Mississippi River. Who knows, maybe you'll stop near St. Louis, listen to the sound of the rushing water before stopping to pick up an amethyst geode the size of your hand. You think, you've seen amethyst gems before in rings. This huge uncut stone must have some value. And it does, because even though this chunk of amethyst is a lot, this amethyst is not defined by its carat weight, but by its beautiful color. And more importantly, this paperweight geode fills your heart with such joy as a real reminder of all those memorable memories. I got to read that, thank you. I got to read that on WZRD radio. I've discovered that on my green screen filter, it won't show up because it doesn't know how to deal with having a screen on a screen and it freaks out. But I was on WZRD radio for one of these things and I thought I would share that with you guys. And the last one I was going to share was from another feature, and I might have one shot. Oh, if anybody knows my Facebook profile photo, I've got a jacket on, and I got a bunch of books behind me. I think I'm going to show you that. It's from this feature where I read this other one for Maine. For Maine! Hey! Hello. Sorry, I had to say that to you because our guest Zoom host, David, is near Maine. This is a short one titled Enveloping Fog. I never imagined how beautiful the East Coast could be, rolling hills curling one state into another. We'd drive up a hill in your rusted old dented yellow truck. I'd lift my head, my chin up as high as I could in anticipation to try to see the other side, the sloping down of those rolling hills. I remember walking along the beach in Maine, restored buildings lining the rocky shore, the fog so thick you couldn't see 50 feet in front of you, and people were suntanning. I even photographed the lighthouse, the enveloping fog. They just kept shining that light, and I can barely see it. How do these lighthouses work in a fog like this? It's so thick like the cigarette smoke coming from the inside of your truck when we would drive to antique shops on the border of New Hampshire. Thick like a powerful force that overcomes someone, that holds you there, that doesn't let go. Like us. Enveloping fog. And as I said, if people see my Facebook photo, that was at Tangible Books, which is on the South Side, Bridgeport in Chicago. Just so you know, Lorna, Vittorio Carli, and I'm sorry that my green screen is hiding it so you can't see the screen, but look at my Facebook profile photo, and that's the photo that is here. You can't see it, you guys, in the live feed. But he does a monthly show where we have assorted features, and I was there for a bonus week because I was in town for the 1 week to do it. But anywho, ladies and gentlemen, that's enough out of my crazy mind for a moment there with things from different locations around the world. And for those who don't know, I reference places around, well, the country, and then I go across. I go to the Arctic Circle, I go to Antarctica, I'm all around, you know, and there's an index in the back. So if you wanted to know, hey, Sulphur Springs, the Sun, Supernova, Switzerland, Syria, Tennessee, I mean, an alphabetical listing, and you could find out where poems are listed by location in the back of this book as well, this is the only book I've ever done anything like that, and that's just crazy. Anywho, so I'm going to stop talking about this book that was recently released, and I'm going to say, please give it up for our Zoom host, and I will also say that the person that is following him will be Trev himself, Trevor Rainwright. It'll be great to hear you, but please give it up for David. Thank you again for coming here. Hopefully our Zoom host might be able to stop in, our regular Zoom host, John F. McMillan. He's going to try to make it, but either way, I would love to hear 3 pieces from you, my darling. I'll mute myself and take it away.